Okay, so I need to tell you about this wild story that's been going on with my friend Keely and her boyfriend Jonah. So there's this person I know who's friends with Keely, let's call her Sarah, and she just got engaged at this crazy lavish wedding in Vegas. I mean, we're talking diamond-encrusted dress, champagne toasts, the whole 9 yards. Anyway, Sarah was getting ready for the big day when she sees Jonah walking down the aisle towards her. And of course, being the dramatic boyfriend he is, he decides to propose right there at the altar in front of all their friends and family. I mean, can you even imagine? But here's the thing, Keely wasn't even invited to the wedding. Which what? Like how does that even happen? I know Jonah has been a bit possessive in the past, but this was just taking it to a whole new level. And from what I've heard, Sarah was totally caught off guard when Jonah started talking about his love for her and wanting to spend the rest of his life with her. I know what you're thinking, just be cool, don't rock the boat, right? But nope. Keely is not having it. She's been making some pretty snarky comments on social media about how Jonah must have really wanted to get away from her or something. I mean, I'm not saying she's being completely unreasonable, but come on. Anyway, things took a turn for the worse when Sarah started texting Keely trying to make amends and apologize for not inviting her. But Keely was like, no way, she needed some space from Jonah first before they even thought about talking again. Which is fair, let's be real. But here's where it gets really juicy. Zeke, our mutual friend who's been trying to stay out of this drama, just casually texted me saying that he's been in contact with Sarah and she's basically begging Keely to forgive her and come back into the group. Like, what is even going on right now? I mean, I'm not taking sides or anything, but it's clear that these three are about to go through some serious drama. And let me tell you, it's been a wild few days. Keely just posted a video online where she talks about how hurt and betrayed she feels by Jonah and Sarah's actions. And honestly, I can see why she'd be upset. Who gets proposed at someone else's wedding? It's just not something that makes sense. But here we are, stuck in the middle of all this crazy drama with no end in sight. Stay tuned, folks, things are about to get real. I'm still trying to wrap my head around everything that's been happening. So, Keely's video went live and it was like a tidal wave of emotions just crashed down on social media. People were defending her, others were taking sides with Jonah and Sarah, but most importantly, people were asking what the deal was with this whole proposal situation. Apparently, Sarah had been planning to propose to Jonah at her own wedding, which she thought would be a private moment for the two of them. But, unbeknownst to her, Keely had somehow managed to get wind of it and confronted Jonah about it right before he was supposed to walk down the aisle. That's when things got out of hand. In the video, Keely is visibly shaken and talks about how she can't believe that Sarah would so callously disregard her own feelings and friendship with Keely. She's also really upset with Jonah for not being honest with her from the start and for proposing to someone else at her wedding. It's clear that Keely still has a lot of hurt and anger towards him. As soon as the video went live, the drama escalated even further. Sarah started getting backlash on social media for what many people saw as a blatant betrayal of Keely's trust. Jonah, on the other hand, just seemed to be shrugging it off like it was no big deal, which only made things worse in Keely's eyes. But here's the kicker, yesterday, I received a message from someone close to Sarah's wedding party, claiming that there's even more to the story than we know. Apparently, Jonah and Sarah had been having major relationship issues for months before she got engaged to him, and it seems like he just used the engagement as an excuse to get out of their problems. This new information has added another layer to the already complicated situation. And now, I'm waiting with bated breath to see how Keely will react when Sarah reaches out again, begging for her forgiveness. Will she take her back, or will this be the final nail in their friendship coffin? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure, this drama show isn't going anywhere anytime soon. As I sit here watching the drama unfold online, my phone just buzzed with a text from Keely's mom, asking if I've heard anything new about Sarah's apology. It seems like things are about to get even more complicated. I let out a sigh as I read through the text, feeling like I'm being pulled into the vortex of drama that is Keely and Jonah's relationship. Sarah's apology had been weeks in coming, but it seemed like every time she reached out, there was another twist or complication thrown into the mix. And now, with Keely's mom asking if I've heard anything new, I knew things were about to get ugly. I quickly typed out a response, trying to gauge how much information to share before getting pulled in too deep. Not yet, I typed, trying to keep my responses vague while still giving Keely's mom enough to go on. But as soon as I hit send, my phone buzzed again with another text, this one from Sarah herself. "Hey girl, just heard that Jonah's ex is talking trash about him online," Sarah wrote, her words dripping with venom. "I know we've had our issues, but honestly, I think she's the real problem here. Can you keep an eye out for any updates? I don't want this to blow up in my face before things are sorted between us." My heart sank as I read through Sarah's message, feeling like I was caught in the middle of a war zone. Keely and Jonah were on shaky ground already, but now it seemed like Sarah was trying to use her ex-girlfriend's past transgressions against him. I couldn't help but wonder what would happen next. Just as I was about to respond to Sarah's message, my phone buzzed again with a text from Keely herself. "What have you heard?" she wrote, her words laced with desperation and frustration. "I've been hearing rumors that Jonah proposed at someone else's wedding. Can you confirm or deny?" My mind went blank as I stared at the screen, feeling like my world was crashing down around me. Could it be true? Had Jonah really gone through with his plan to propose at Sarah's wedding? And what did this mean for our friendship? I took a deep breath, trying to process everything that had happened so far. But before I could even begin to respond to Keely's message, my phone buzzed again, this time with an email from an anonymous source claiming to have inside information on the situation. Jonah proposed at Sarah's wedding, the email read, its words dripping with salacious intent. And things didn't end well. Want more details? I felt like I was drowning in a sea of drama and deception, unsure of what was true or what was just rumors. All I knew was that my phone was blowing up with notifications, each one bringing new twists and complications into the already complicated mix. And I couldn't help but wonder, how far would things go? As I sat in stunned silence, trying to wrap my head around the latest bombshell, Keely walked into the room, a look of determination etched on her face. "I've had enough," she declared, holding up the anonymous email like it was a badge of honor. "It's time we got to the bottom of this." Without another word, she picked up her keys and phone, and started making calls. I watched in awe as she expertly navigated the complex web of relationships and alliances that made up our social circle, slowly but surely gathering information and conferring with those closest to Jonah. It wasn't long before we had a veritable army of witnesses, each one sharing their own unique perspective on the events leading up to and following the ill-fated proposal. There was Zeke, who claimed to have seen Jonah and Sarah getting cozy at the rehearsal dinner, Rachel, who swore she saw him whispering sweet nothings into Sarah's ear just hours before he popped the question. But amidst all the drama and recrimination, one thing became clear: Jonah had acted with reckless abandon, ignoring years of friendship and loyalty in pursuit of a fleeting romance. And as we pieced together the events surrounding the proposal, it dawned on me that this was more than just a case of cheating, it was a catastrophic failure of trust. Keely and I sat in stunned silence for a long moment, trying to process everything we'd learned. It was only when she finally broke the silence that I realized what had been staring us right in the face all along. Jonah's actions weren't just a betrayal of Sarah, they were a reflection of his own deep-seated insecurity and lack of self-awareness. The fallout that followed was nothing short of apocalyptic. Friends turned on friends, alliances were forged and broken with lightning speed, and I found myself at the epicenter of it all, caught between my loyalty to Keely and my love for Jonah's increasingly erratic behavior. In the end, it came down to one simple question: would Jonah be able to rebuild his life from the ashes of this latest scandal? Or would he prove himself irredeemably broken? As I watched him take the stage at Sarah's reception, a contrite look on his face and a small, hopeful smile in his eyes, I couldn't help but feel a sense of sadness wash over me. The once mighty Jonah was no more, in his place stood a shell of a man, battered by the very winds he'd sought to control. "I still can't believe this happened."